G'day mate and welcome back to another base tour with me, JD. This time we're doing Wismerhill's base. See, I got it right. It only took like the second base tour of his base to get me there, but I finally pronounced it correctly. But for the rest of this episode, because I don't bastardize it too much, we're just going to refer to him as Mr. Hill, because I'm really bad at pronouncing his name. So we're in his starter base, and as you can see, there's LTN running in the background. And for the moment, we're actually going to ignore the whole starter base. Mainly because that didn't help. Mainly because I actually want to do the starter base last. I like the look of the starter base. But we're going to do his main base first. So, he's set up on what I think has been fairly commonly called in the Factorio community as a city block setup. So it does have roundabouts, which are really, really bad for train throughput. But we're just going to leave that there. Along with really short trains. They're all 1-2 trains. So, first off, let's start with Logistics train networks. So, LTN keeps popping up down the bottom hand corner, and it will keep popping up over and over and over. And it basically turns the trains into very much like the bot logistics network that we're all familiar with. So these trains sit here with no real orders, or the orders get rerun all the time, and they'll just get assigned to wherever they need to go. So that one's got no orders. No orders. We're going to hope this guy gets picked first. Come on, game. Now you won't call a train, will you? No, it's down. Not going to call any trains. But the mod interfaces with the trains directly, and it'll actually send a train to go get copper ore or iron ore and bring it straight to the smelters. Carrying delivery from cargo ships to green ships to ore unload. It needs 4,010 green circuits. Well, there we go. That train just got an order. Bang! It's got to go to iron 3, grab ore, bring it to ore unload 2, builder 1, which is ore unload 2, builder 1. Bring it up here. Dump in the iron ore, because obviously this got too low, so it's actually requested a train. So it's a lovely little mod for that factor, alright? It really does need to let you automate your trains a lot more. We do have errors like this, warning a train's been stuck at the same signal for more than 2 minutes, and as you can see, it fills up your log. Train has taken longer than 10 minutes between stations. So it's a little bit complex and requires a little bit of work to make sure you've got it up and running correctly. But we're going to go through the stages. So we've got a smelting setup, right, which is iron and copper in. It looks like it's an actual smart setup, which is fairly okay when doing iron and copper. And it'll just bring in the resources, spit them back out, shove them in a warehouse. Now, the warehouses are also a passive provider chest, so he can then use bots to bring them into these requester chests, and then, depending on which train is actually at the station, he can then call the train of his requirements, probably the best way of putting it, to take iron or copper out of this station and off to where it needs to go. All right, so we got two ore in, 2 smelter out, or plus a supply station with artillery weapons, and I just heard an artillery go off. I have no idea where it went off. So yeah, this has artillery, walls, repair packs, construction robots, storage in case anything comes back to storage. These each become a self-contained unit. As you can see, it has some robot coverage, but not enough robot coverage that any one interacts with the next one. They're all self-contained units. We've got another smelting setup. The only difference between this one's actually got stone, which again is hooked up to some smarts. The smarts will only turn on these 2 mini loaders. So these are, that's an underground that comes in. That's a mini loader. It uses pretty much the same graphics, but it's actually a fast. It's an inserter. It's a very, very, very fast inserter. And I gotta say, the graphics are not different enough for me to easily identify the difference between an underground and a mini loader. Not without some effort. which I'm not a fan of, but, you know, it is what it is. So mini loaders are basically really, really, really fast inserters. They'll actually clear a whole belt as fast as the belt will run. All right. This is a same thing. It's a blue belt one, except it's also filters, so we can only take stone out to run into the stone furnaces to make brick. All right. It's you know, it's a beautiful little system for smelting. Belts and shit. I love the clever use of English. So same story. We've got, you know, pipes being made because everybody needs some pipes. We have these mini loader things bringing plate in, gears out this side for yellow belter gears, gears out this side for a blue belter gears, gears out here for another blue belt worth of gears, to give us lots and lots of gears heading down main bus style to all the things that need them. So, you know, blue belt, blue undergrounds, blue belt, blue splitters, red version, yellow version. All right, down to yet another gear machine. Probably because this one just chews all the gears by itself. All right, or actually probably these ones chew all the gears by themselves, and this one just needs a little bit more gears to split it up. More gear production, because you can never have too many gears. All the inserters that you require. Right, and again, same story. Here's just use a normal inserter to come into all these, and these are just plain storage boxes, which is probably a mistake. In theory, it would never have an issue, but you know, you never know. And again, because he's got a supply station, which is that one, logistics train shop, supply belts and shit. All right, so this is going to bring in bots, which will then get moved across and put into this rail report to make sure it has the right amount of construction bots and the right amount of logistics bots to get it up and running. We've got 2 coals that are still dying slowly. This is why I just build straight over ore. We have another furnace set up, but this one's a smart one that also handles steel. Now, I'm never a fan of these because I always find out that eventually, somewhere along the line, one of these, and I'm trying to find one, and of course I went, oh, that one. That one has excess iron plate in it. That one's got 2 iron plate in it. That one's got 1 iron plate. So between that one, and that one, that's 1 piece of steel. But it means when this runs iron ore or runs copper ore, these 3 furnaces will never run. All right? And I'm willing to bet the exact same thing happens here. This is why I never ever have used the smart furnace system for steel. There's just too much risk that a furnace will get stuck partially loaded. It's just not worth the hassle. We have a nuclear setup. He's actually training in water. If you come... Nope. It's not training, it's coming in from the water. I did see a train. Aha! We've got a water loading over here. So he is training in water, probably for oil then, if it's not for power. Again, it's a smart system. I'm just not a fan of smart nuclear systems. Right? I just straight output my power. I don't care how much steam's in there. I'm never going to burn... I'm never going to burn nuclear power, you know, nuclear fuel cells faster than I'm going to be able to Coverex in some new ones. So just like smack it out, you know, load in fuel as fast as you can possibly burn it. That's perfectly fine for me. It means less smarts, it's less heating and cooling of the pipes. It's just like these 2 are not running. There's not enough heat in these 2 for them to run. That one's barely running. Yeah, just not a fan. Not a fan. We got a green circuit build, and it's a good little build. It is very, very similar to what I do, you know, mid-game, where I have all prod mods with just a couple of speed beacons, just to get things sort of a little bit faster, a little bit cheaper. All right. We want... Let's go with red belt. No. Actually, let's go items per second. So it's 9.8. So it's more than a yellow belt's worth between these 2, but they're outputting to, you know, a yellow belt and a bit, a red belt's worth almost. But very, very quickly, like 78. That's basically 2 blue belts worth in a very short amount of time. And of course, he's got 1 set, 2 set, 3 set. He's got blue belts on blue belts on blue belts of green circuits, which you can then funnel into one of these passive provider warehouses via all these lovely mini loader things that I still can't stand the graphics of. And yeah, request them out to bots as required. Iron and copper in as required. Another automated building station, which will, I'm assuming, comes with everything to... We've got wall, we've got train track, we've got repair packs, we've got artillery shells, we've got lasers, we've got construction logibots. I think the only thing that's missing in here is the concrete and the brick to actually build the outside, but maybe there's a separate train that does that. I don't know. It does lead to a very, very neat and organised map. I will definitely give it that much. We have a coal liquefaction, so... there we go. This is where we're bringing in water. We're doing a coal liquefaction setup. Now, I need to play with it more. But recently, during one of the community map playthroughs, we actually came to the conclusion that a coal liquefaction setup actually can potentially have less pipes than a normal traditional oil build, which means technically it should be more UPS efficient. So something I need to play with in my next playthrough. But let's be honest, coal is a lot easier to get than oil. It does mean more inserters dragging coal in and out compared to pumps and tankers. So it's a bit of a bit. But yeah, we've got lube out, we've got heavy oil cracking, we've got light oil cracking, of course. We've got, again, solid fuel from petroleum. Still not a fan. Still not a fan. Mr. Hill, when you watch this, it's like upgrade these. Like swap them over to light oil. Work out all your plumbing correctly. So you've always got enough light oil, which you're currently maxed out on. Hell, you're maxed out on everything. Whole system's backed up. There's too much of everything in here. But yeah, work out your system so you have enough light oil to make you solid fuel, because it's that much more efficient. Again, I covered that in my last base tour with Matthew Pocock's base. Yep, Matthew Pocock's base. Way more efficient to do solid fuel from light oil. He has another build here ready to go, doing absolutely nothing. And that's sort of the start of his city blocks setup. I'm assuming this supply setup. I'm looking for a combinator. I don't understand what's in that combinator. And it's a long way to walk to go find out. I've still got that overlay on. Let's turn that off. So, there's lasers, he's got some super duper lasers, some advanced thermal laser turret. Probably because, one laser every now and then is a lot easier than 500 lasers here, there, and everywhere. He's got artillery set up in the corners to keep the friends at bay, right? And just brings out the artillery shells via bots. It's a very nice little way to grow and expand a base quickly and efficiently. All right. I have seen the city block method, and I am a fan, but at the same time, I'm like, I know it'll be a matter of time before I'm like, no, I can't be bothered setting up something properly. I'm just going to do this real quick. Oh, they just expanded with a worm, and there's an artillery down here that took care of them. See, I love that. Okay, so that's pretty much it. This brings us back to the starter base, and this is the part that I actually want to have a wander through. I didn't get any exos or anything, so we're going to have to do this slow-mo style. So, he's got his starter power. Now, I don't know how hard the biters were set to, but this does look like a little bit of overkill. And he is definitely heavy with the smarts. I got no idea what half these smarts do. Obviously, turn on the power switch should... 50 and 400. Yeah, so obviously this turns on a power switch should this run out of power. And yeah, it's a little bit overkill as far as biters are concerned. Uranium ammo, normal ammo, AP ammo, like power, lots of power, lots of steam backup. I have become a very, very big fan of the steam backup power system, right? Using storage tanks as batteries. So these can, if they're not doing anything, which currently they're not, they can charge up the storage tanks, right, to produce extra power. And then at the time when you are chewing more power than possible, these extra steam engines can kick in, taking extra power from these tanks. That's another artillery going. So obviously the biters are turned on with expansion set fairly high for the artillery to go off that often. Here's running off solid fuel. Considering how much uranium ammo is lying around, I would have probably upgraded everything to nuclear ammo by now. But you can see how these LTN stations work, you know. Obviously, this is the starter base. It doesn't have a lot of production anymore, so it was short on green circuits. It called in green circuits. Wow. These warehouses are slightly small. So it called in green circuits. Prior to that, it was short on blue circuits, so it just called in blue circuits. And same story. So this is an out to an underground to a blue, blue circuit storage, red circuit storage, green circuit storage. We've got a little bit of nuclear processing here. Obviously, this base doesn't quite need that much, and there's already 4.8k in storage, so, you know, who needs more than that? We've got another 4.8k of the crappy ones here, with another few thousand laying around here, there, and everywhere, producing uranium ammo to go and run the base defenses down here. Being a starter base, this has, like, everything. It has a very small iron smelter, copper smelter, stone smelter, another iron smelter. I don't get why the power poles are put between. I know it's an old... It's a build style that was very popular. I'm not a fan of it anymore. Because that's 2 tiles, 4 tiles, 6 tiles. 6 tiles wasted, that's 3 extra smelters on the end. Which is 12, 15... It's 25% extra production, you know, from just putting the power poles down here, up here. It's way more power poles, but... Well, wooden power poles, but who cares? They're wooden power poles. Eventually you pick them up and you throw them in a furnace and burn them off. So yeah, we've got iron. He has got buffers here, which normally I'm not a fan of. But I've got to say, after doing the GM8 speedrun challenge, right, I'm definitely becoming a fan of buffering. So you bring a full belt in and, providing the buffer's not full, you're using a full belt's worth at all times. And you see the copper's doing exactly that. You know, it's passing stuff through, providing these inserters weren't too fast, and at the same time outputting to then run out through the bottom, to give you still a full belt's worth of output. So, you know, I'm becoming more and more of a fan of it. We've got iron out into steel, again a buffer. We've got an oil build. An oil build that looks like it just arrived in the base and everything got put around it. So we've got standard oil. Hasn't even been upgraded to advanced oil. And we've got lubricant coming that way into a full tank. We've got oil coming in and it's in a full tank. We've got heavy coming out here, which goes into a tank, turned into solid fuel if needs be, and at the same time piped. I bet it's piped out to the walls. Oh no, here, we've got more oil down here. There we go. Knew there had to be more oil somewhere. So this goes into cracking, of course. Heavy, light to petroleum. Petroleum's backed up, light short, heavy's short. Yep. We've got our light oil out of this one, gets turned into solid fuel to probably run half this base, along with a bit of plastic, a bit of solid fuel from petroleum. Again, I wouldn't bother, I just, you know, get rid of your light fuel into petroleum, into solid fuel, and then everything else goes to petroleum. But we have, like, it is the king of spaghetti base, and I have actually used a mod on this one, which I'm hoping I should have covered last week. It is, don't ask me the question what it's called now. Of course, I can't find the link now. It's the Muppet mod that I asked him to put together. It basically puts a light bulb into every single... go away. Save game. It is... so many mods installed. What's it's on the list? I've already scrolled past it. Squeak through, scan your world, orphan finder. Electric train, cliff deconstruction. No idea. Basically, it puts a light into every single power pole, and that's why you can see the power poles are turning on and off. It's a beautiful mod. It's a quality of life mod just for streamers, and this is why I've asked to use it. And Mr. Hill did not leave me with any sort of... I didn't request them. Night vision. Yeah, I'm gonna have a bot show up with night vision. Wow, there's lots of mods on this one. So yeah, it just puts lights in every power pole. So it means that I can jump on, have a look at bases. Much better for me streaming, much better for you guys watching on YouTube. And little quality of life mod. Anyway, back to the base. So with the supreme spaghetti that Mr. Hill has managed to squish in here, we've got gears coming out. That's a discontinued belt. We're just going to ignore that one. We've got green circuits. We've got our 3 basic belt manufacturing, which goes... Oh, this is going to go all the way down. Oh, wow. This goes all the way down to green science. We've got red science as well. We've got pipes coming out and going to steam engines. Okay. Along with boilers. So they're both automated, which is not something you normally see automated. We've got, you know... Everything has been squished in and automated as best as possible. And look, I really admire the spaghetti. I admire the time and the effort it takes to convince all these belts to get built and routed in the most compressed area possible. You know, he's got lube here, and the lube pipe goes straight past, but doesn't plug in. Instead, the lube comes out and goes on a belt, which then comes back. You know, it's barreled on a belt. Personally, I would have just gone straight across, but you know, and funnily enough, that pipe... Oh, it's going down here, which is blue belt, I assume? Yeah, the fact that you've got to come out here to go left, to go right, to go down, which is... I don't know if it's oversight or it's just that's how the things ended up. Lube is here for no reason at all. No, none of those hook into it. I don't know why lube's down here. Like, lube has to go to electric engines. We'll have to find electric engines, because we found one assembler. Surely there's more than one assembler. Electric engines, outputs into a network, goes up, around the outside of the base, past the gun turrets, into purple science, into robot frame manufacturing. Nope, that is the one running everything. It's probably why it's got so many speed modules in it, to get it up going faster. We've got red circuits shoved in here. We've got half a military shoved in here. We've got, you know, power poles, all the important power poles. We've got some military shoved in here, which then comes down to, you know, spaghetti its way through the base, down, around. We've got more engines. Where's this bit of spaghetti go? This bit of spaghetti goes over here, and down here, and over here, to military science. So we've got military science being made down here, and half its prerequisites are made up in this top corner. You know, there's where the grenades are made, and that's where the AP ammo is being made. They've made it entirely opposite ends of the base. We got artillery being made down here, which is just being flown in via bots and shoved straight into the great artillery turret. He's got a solar lay down, and it's just like, just straight, just AP ammo in the gun turrets, done. These walls have been fortified. I'm willing to bet he's fought for every single centimeter of, you know, front line that he could get his hands on. He's had to fight for. And then wraps all the way around before... Does it end? It ends there. So, where the hell does that start? It starts in here, doesn't it? With this assembler. So, you know, there's one hell of a loop of guns and uranium ammo. Same story, we've got sulfuric acid here, which is... limited by sulfur? Yeah, I don't know why that's speed modules, but you know, it is what it is. Oh no, hang on, that one should be speed module to run 2 of those. But then you can't output fast enough because that tank's full. That tank is, again, you know, belts, barrels on belts. We're bringing the acid all the way down on the outside of the train tracks. Oh, to be loaded onto a special train to go somewhere important. I don't even know. So that's the LTN thingy. Yeah, I don't even know where the acid goes. It must be going to the uranium outpost or something. A tiny, itty bitty, cute nuclear reactor build, which is completely switched off. Thank gosh. It definitely is. It's switched off purely because it's got, like, these turbines are running. Nope, it's just turned back on. This I would have retired. Just gone. Here's the train. So this must be the train for starter packs. Yeah, so this is the train for laying down new, I don't know what you call them, city block blueprints. We've got the production build and speed module build. As I said, you know, this was featured back in Matt P's base. It's one I stole from Exterm and kind of Will originally. It's a very compact. I love it. We've got the other half of the oil build. What's in this spaghetti? So engines, we've got assembly machines, we've got repair packs, we've got signals. I don't know who automates red and green wire. Okay, I admit, if you're going to go to this far in automation and just dumping down blueprints, maybe, because even then they're free. Wire's free. Okay, I take it back. Yep, I wouldn't ever automate red and green wire. Unless you're playing with a 30 science pack challenge thingy mod, and then yes. That's a LTN train stop, which is a whole separate item, so that does definitely need to be automated. That's a Big Brother surveillance radar, so Big Brother 1 gives you better radar coverage, 2, and it really doesn't apply on this map because of the radar coverage, but it means every large power pole and train, car, tank has its own tiny radar in it. Okay, this I gotta have a look at. So we've got an underground, and then we're curling that up. Okay, and you get purple from there. Okay. Okay, that's definitely a little bit odd, but it works. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 packs. This will not handle space science, not without running around the outside or something. Yeah, I can't. Technically, you're probably spaghetti in on one side, maybe. And use an inserter here and inserter here. Like, you then have to power it up from the outside with substations. Yeah, technically, maybe. So yeah, uranium processing. We've got our modules. We've got Covarex. We've got sulfuric acid in the blue circuit. So obviously there are some blue circuits being made on site. along with everything else sort of just thrown down, bot style, bring resources in, send stuff out. It is a beautiful, beautiful spaghetti mess. I love it. I love it, Mr. Hill, right? It has been a lovely little tour, and you can see that, yes, he's gone over to the city block format. I really want to see one of these super advanced thermal laser turrets take off. He has gone out to the city block setup to straighten out and organise the base post spaghetti, which is, you know, it's like I said, it's a wonderful method. I have a feeling I eventually get very, very lazy and I just throw things together. Now, he does have, like, every mod under the sun. You know, we've got Power Armor Mark IV, we've got Bullet Damage, we've got Modular Turrets Damage, for advanced rockets, heavy cannons, dual cannon, light cannon, Gatling cannon, Gamma Beam Turrets for that extra oomph. Hey, they use uranium fuel cells. We'll actually have a use for uranium fuel cells. So we've got, you know, we've got Smart Artillery Bombardment Remote. Ooh. Okay, I've never seen that mod. But it looked like targets an entire selected area for artillery bombardment. Oh. Okay. We've got railguns. We've got napalm. Ultra accumulator. Wow. Logistics cargo wagon. Oh, which turns a wagon with an active and a requester. He also has... Oh, manual. He also has e-locomotives. Which... Can I bring up... Loco... Electric trains. So an e-locomotive has... We got an energy consumption there for a standard train of 600 kilowatts. These ones are also 600 kilowatts. I don't think they're any faster. These ones are 900 kilowatts, so about 50% faster. And these ones are 1.2 megawatts, so about twice the speed. That's a Mark 1, so that'll run at standard speed. They're so short I can't hover my mouse over them long enough to read. But yeah, they'll be about the same speed as normal trains. The Mark 2s and the Mark 3s are lightning fast. They are. Well, there's some Mark 2s down there. Yeah, these are all just Mark 1s. So yeah, they are lightning fast. So yeah, he has set himself up for a long game. You know, definitely not going to just leave this in an early game. Going to run out really late game. And as I said, considering the defenses that have been popped up, probably fight with the biters for every bit of territory he can. Just to, wow. Yeah, lots of different biter options, or biter killing options. Heavy cannon shells, light uranium cannon shells, light cannon shells, artillery turret, scattergun. Yeah, you know, for when biters are no longer a challenge, or you just want to see 15 different ways to kill a biter off. Anyway, I'm going to end it here. Thank you guys for watching. As always, I do hope you've enjoyed. Thank you, Mr. Hill, again, for letting me tour another one of your bases. I do wish you luck with this one, and I do wish all the biters die for you. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. As always, if you wish to submit your base, down in the description, there are links to all my social medias along with Discord. Discord is the best spot to get hold of me. You can always chat with me live on Discord, and send me your base there. Anyway, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next one. All right, bye.